does say live. Okay, good. Hello, folks. Happy Monday. Bear with me a minute. I'm just clicking all the enter buttons here. There we are. I think I only have maybe one left. Yes, one left. Okay, close this. Just waiting for... I have to give this a minute because, you know, as usual, it won't detect the things until everything's been live for about a minute. So just waiting at the social stream stuff. I saw there was an update, but you know what? Honestly, I'm not updating anything until I know for sure it won't mess with anything, because I updated last time and it caused me some problems. So honestly, as long as things are working right now, I am not inclined to change anything. So I'm not going to. Okay, I silenced my phone. Oh, good, I remember to do that. Okay, so I already did the reflector thing. That's good. I've posted where I need to here, so I can close this. And let's see if Social Stream has... Oh, that's weird. Where's Social Stream? Oh, that's right. I accidentally closed it. Let me reopen it because it wanted to do the update. And I said, no, I don't need an update. Thank you. So, okay. So Twitch looks good. Oh, hey. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I really don't want it to maximize that. All right, let's auto find. Come on. Hey, look at that. It found it. All right. There we go. So if... Except it's doubled it again, which I really don't get that. Actually, I'm sorry. It's tripled it. Why are there so many of these windows? Is it because it selected every one of them? That's odd. There's no, it's not 100. Okay, got it. All right, let's do a quick test. So we'll say test 1. Okay, there it is. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. I have to actually enable it first. So we will say enable. There, no, I just heard it. So there we go. But I don't think it's visible yet. So let's make sure it is by selecting the correct window, which would be... Oh, that's right. Sorry. I need to double click this, that, and then go down to social stream, do that, hit OK. And let's do one more of these. Test 2. There it is. It is visible. And then the only other one I have to test is this one. So this will be test 3. And there it is. So we are ready to go. Bang. Let's get that running. Hey, under 3 minutes this time. What do you know? I already checked reflector, so that should be working. We'll find out in a second. And survey says, hey, there we go. Well, yeah, under 3 minutes and we're up and running. And really a lot of that is because I have to wait for social stream, to be honest. Okay, so we are working on our cybernetic head. I'm going to get a quick drink of water, so bear with me a minute. There we go. Oh, I don't like when that little tab shows. I think there's a way to get... There it goes. I got rid of it. Okay. So, multi-stream is open. I got the shield mode turned off. It was on Twitch because I accidentally clicked that button. I'd actually log in and do it, but it's gone. So, yeah. So I've been working on this kind of off and on. I finished the brain, so now we're back onto this. And as you can see, I've done some little kind of lines here. I'm still trying to work... Sorry about the yawning. I'm still trying to work out certain things about this. That I'm just trying to figure them out. Because I know... I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do some of these separations. So I've got these little lines. And I'm going to do those for some of these other areas too. But the big panels are what's throwing me. And you can see I've done a little bit of shading. Oh, wait. Why did it suddenly... Okay, this was working 2 seconds ago. Hold on. I don't know why social stream locked up. Let me do this. Let's disconnect and reconnect. Hold on. Bear with me. I don't know why it lost it. Let me bring it back up. It was fine a second ago. There it goes. Pulled it back up. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, that's really weird. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Jeez, it was throwing me for a minute because I'm like, why is it not? I reconnected it. Okay. I don't know why it froze there, but I unfroze it. So we're good. So anyway, yeah, I've got these lines here you can see if I zoom in. So you see those. And I'm going to keep doing those. And I've got the lips here. I've done some shading on those. But I'm still just trying to figure out what I want to do with the big panels. And some of that might get solved by doing all these small lines in the other areas. Then I might not need to do anything. I think because I was looking at it as a blank canvas. Or as without any detail lines. I think that was throwing me off. And now that I'm doing these lines, it's going to start to define those other areas. So I'm going to keep going on that because I think that might be the solution that I actually need. So let's go ahead and do this. And let's go ahead and do an assist on that. So we're doing symmetry. There we go. This should be a larger line. Yes, it is. And we're going to... Now, let me see. Because I think I used 3 for this one. Let me just verify that. Bear with me a minute. I just want to see what I did here. Yeah, I did 3 there. So I think I'm going to bump up to 4. Slightly bigger, but not a completely different thing. And I'm going to do these purple areas with that 4 line. And just see how it looks. I gotta figure this out. I think the only way to figure it out is to play around with some different things. Just see what I like. It's typically how I figure things out. Let's just try them, see how it goes. Actually, I'm working on I think I mentioned this, physical... Oh, wait, the whole thing on my desk just moved. Put this back in place, please. There we are. Yeah, I gotta replace... I got these mats that go underneath the keyboard and the mouse. And I really like them because they're from a company called Grove Made, and they're fabric. But honestly, the problem is they move too much, which I really, really hate because I like them otherwise. They have a really nice feeling to them, but they just move so easily. And so I got same company, but I got a leather mat that they make. Because, you know, which I don't like, because I don't like leather. I don't like leather because I don't like all the, having to kill an animal stuff. I know not everybody feels that way, but that's just how I look at it. But at the same time, the fake leather stuff, I think the problem for me is you can't win. Because I don't like leather stuff. Because, it's off an animal, and I don't like that. I would prefer not to have any animals harmed in anything that I use. But the fake leather stuff generally has a bunch of, chemical... It's like you can't win. You can't win either way. It's one of those rare circumstances. Most of the time, it's pretty easy to kind of thread that needle. But not with this stuff. So I went with the leather mat just because, like I said, this fabric one... The other problem, which I didn't even think about, with this fabric mat is the computer picks up the static noise on the speakers because there's a lot of static electricity with the fabric. Leather won't have that problem either. That line just does not look right to me. Oh, that's because that line doesn't look right. So these lines are bad to begin with. So I got I have a new mat coming. Mostly because I probably could put up with the static. I'm going to go the other way. I don't like going that way. I probably could have put up with the static and, that wouldn't have bugged me too much. But the movement, I can't get past the movement because there's been several times where I'm trying to do something precise with the mouse and the whole thing just moves. I'm really surprised. I mean, I guess because it's supposed to be reversible. So it doesn't have a rubber backing or anything that's like a non-slip backing, which I guess makes sense. It's fabric after all, but it's not working. And it's a thing where I kind of thought I'd put up with it for a while, and it's just can't put up with it. I tried, I really did, but it's just not happening. So it's a shame. I might see if Lando, my friend Lando wants them, because I know he likes leather stuff too, but he's also he's more concerned about the whole microplastics thing, so he might want these for something, if he doesn't already have a use for them, because I'd rather them go to somebody. I don't want to just have them sitting in a closet doing nothing. Like I said, if they didn't move so much, I would try to keep them, but they just move too much. And I know it's just going to eventually bug me, so rather than... One thing I've kind of discovered about myself is once I notice that something's bothering me, if after a couple of weeks it's not bothering it, if it's still bothering me, it's not going to stop bothering me. There are times where I've been like, no, put up with it, and then I've gotten used to things. There are things like that. But a lot of times, if it doesn't resolve itself pretty quickly, then it's not going to. And rather than just be unhappy with something, you know, if something's not working, you make a change. It's that simple. It's how you should be about things. Like, give things time. By all means, don't make a snap judgment, but, you know, I think we all have to, at some point you have to be able to look in the mirror and say, yeah, is this something I'm going to be able to tolerate? And if it's not, then don't waste time. Move on from it. It's just going to make you happier in the long run, you know? So you should do that. Pretty much everything in life is if it's not making you happy, then don't keep it around. It's good advice for lots of things in life. If it ain't making you happy, don't keep it around. Okay. Yeah, see, I think once all these lines are in, I think those big parts are going to kind of work themselves out. Yeah, I think that's going to solve this problem for me. It's probably what it was, is just that when all these areas have no detail fills to them, they start to look incorrect to me. And now that I've actually got lines going in, I think that's going to solve my problem. As far as what I'm going to do with the bigger spaces that are kind of in that light teal. You know, this will background some things for me. It's so easy when you're doing these lines to kind of lose yourself in the lines. Where, like, my eye will start jumping from one line to another, and for a minute I won't know which line I'm doing. Because they're repetitive. And that just happens. So with this amount of lines on the screen, it can be tricky to just keep focused on it. So if you notice me talking a little slower here and there, it's because I'm following these lines and trying to not literally have my eye start just bouncing around, because that will happen. It has happened with me. It will happen very easily. So simple. To, like I said, oh, no, come back. To be in these lines and be like, whoa, and just get lost in it. All right. All right. Okay, let's clean those up. Pretty sure I had some lines here. So yeah, I've got a magic card I'm working on. And then somebody just emailed me today, possibly about another one. Pretty close to being done with the one that I'm working on now. Mostly the biggest thing I have to wait for the pens to dry. I love these pens, but they take a while to dry. So it's like every time I do any significant amount of work, I then have to take a day or two and just let them dry out. And I'm going to be playing around with something. I'm going to try to create the marbling effect, or the stained glass effect, I should say, that I did on the actual card with this white paint pen I've got. But I have to play around with it, so I have a test card that I'm waiting for that to dry with some color on it to see how this is going to look, because I've never tried what I'm going to attempt before, and I really don't want to attempt it on the person's card when it's almost done. That is not the time and place to start playing around with a new idea. It just is a bad idea, so I'm not going to do that. I just think that's just asking for trouble, I feel like. So I'm not going to do it. Alright, so let's see here. Got some nice line variation happening here. That's good. I like that. Let's do... That's a thicker line. Let's see how big this line is. That line is on which layer? Let's take a look. There it is. That's probably a 5. I'm betting that's a 5. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Oh no, it's bigger than a 5. It's got to be more like an 8 or a 10. Might be 8. I don't think it's 10. 10 seems too big. Oh, maybe. Hold on. No. I don't think it's 10. Let's see. Oh, maybe it is. Wow, that's a 10? I went to 10? I feel like I should have gone further down to like 7. Yeah, 7 would have made more sense there. Well, you know what? We'll just do it here. Let's see. That's that line. Let's do another layer here. Let's do an assist on that. Yeah, I feel like those are too big at 10. I feel like these should be 7s, and that might be why that doesn't look right to me. Let's drop this way down. Let's do this again in 7. I don't like it being that. I think those lines are too big. I really do. We'll just kind of do the same general lines, but with the 7. Well, where'd that come from? What is that? That's got, oh, that's from that. Okay. I just couldn't see it because it was blended into the black of the other layer. That's easy enough. Okay. Let's get back to, is this one? Yeah, this one. Okay. Back to pen. Yeah, I think 7 is the better call on this. I just feel like 10 is too close to the thicker lines. I want these to be like accent lines. So I just feel like, okay, well, I'm getting a little too loose there. Yeah, I don't like 10. I don't know why I did that. Well, I think I was just doing that. I think I was just playing around. I don't think I was really thinking about what I was doing when I did those. That line's terrible. Hold on. There we go. Better. Better. Let's see how these look. I really think these are going to look better. Oop, hold on. I was too far down when I started that line. Whoa, my hand slipped there. Hold on. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Problem is I'm working close to the edge of the iPad here, so my hand is going right over that edge line. Let's make it, okay, there we go. Got it. All right, let's take a look. Let's clean these edges up really quick. And let's see what we like better here. I think the smaller line will work better. All right, so I don't think I went over on that side. No. So let's go ahead and turn that off. All right, let's do a comparison, shall we? Let's move this up, turn that off, turn this back on. Let's see. That's the thick line. That's the thin line. Boy, I think that might still be too thick a line. I definitely don't want it to be that thick. Like, I can tell that's no good. But I think that might still be too thick. I think that's too thick a line. I think I got to go down to 5. Or was I on 5? Was I on 5? Was that 5? Oops, sorry. Is that 5? That's 5? Wow. Because I'm already at 4 with the other one, right? These are 4. Yeah, so that's 5. Okay, well, then I'm going to leave it. All right, that's 5. Okay. If that's 5, then I'm just going to leave it alone. I guess it just looks thicker to me, but I guess it isn't. I mean, it must not be if... That's an interesting idea. Hold on. Now, hold on. This is an interesting idea. Hey, Timber Dragon, how you doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. You know what? You know what I think I'm going to do? I think, now that I'm looking at this, where are these colors? Not there. Okay. I still do this again. Well, thank you for coming by and saying hello. I always appreciate it. Yeah, if you have to go, that's okay. I appreciate you coming by and saying hello. Yeah, if you have stuff to do, then absolutely go do your stuff. But again, thank you for coming by and saying hello. I hope you're having a good Monday. And I hope the stuff you have to do isn't bad stuff or terrible stuff. I hope it's stuff you want to do. Not stuff like homework. I mean, I know everybody has to do that type of thing, but doesn't mean it's fun. Okay, yeah, I think I want to get rid of this. As you can see, I'm just kind of trying to figure things out anyway, so this is going to be a very this is going to be a very disjointed stream because I'm really just trying to figure out what I want to do here. And I don't have a very clear idea, but so I'm just kind of playing around with colors. You know what? I think these reds, I think part of it is also the reds. I think I need this to be a darker red. I'm going back and forth. Oh, you know what? I know what I want to do. I got it. I got it. I need some of this dark red up here. And actually, what would make more sense is to have the dark red here. No, I got it. Okay, let's get rid of the light red. Light red shouldn't be here. This would be the darker area. So let's get rid of all that red really quick. All right, now let's go back to the dark red. Let's switch over to the thicker pen. Okay, good. This is behind everything, so I don't have to worry too much about it bleeding. It won't. And we'll color that in, right? That's the dark part. Then we're going to take that lighter red. Uh-oh. Did I get rid of the wrong lines? I sure did. You see what I did here, right? I got rid of the wrong lines. Well, not the wrong lines, but I didn't realize those lines were there too. That's fine. I'll redo those. It's not a problem. But yeah. Okay. No problem. This is how it goes sometimes. It's not a big deal. Okay, so that one, that will bleed. So we'll be more careful with this red here. I'll fix that in a minute. And we'll get this all tidied up. All right, so let's fix that so we're not bleeding. Yeah, I like those reds. Like that's better. That makes these areas kind of pop. Now there's some depth there, so that's good. That's good. I didn't really think that was what was missing, but that was what was missing. Now let's fix this. Just can't leave this like this. So let's go with. I think I'm gonna go with the 4 on this. I don't know what I used before. I didn't mean to say 4 twice there. Oh, this should stay up. This should stay at 8. Let's go here. Let's knock this down to 4. Let's redo these lines because I erased them. So let's go ahead and do. I may have to clean these up because these were previously different line weight. So probably gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup here. Not a big deal. It's just how it goes. These are things that happen. You know, I'm not really even complaining about it because were this not digital, if this was just pen and paper, I couldn't fix any of this. I've said this before, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. I would not be able to fix any of this stuff if this was on pen. I mean, could I? Maybe there would be a way to do it, but it sure wouldn't be. Oh, I have to, hold on. I am going to need at least one of these colors showing which one. Okay, this one, this one. All right, I'm going to turn all the other colors off for a minute. Just the one I need right now. There we go. So could I fix this if it was pen and ink? Yeah, I could, but it would take so long. It would not be this simple. Let's put it that way. It would not be as simple as what I'm doing here. Just redrawing these lines, then doing some recoloring, or yeah, no way. I would have to white things out. At best, white things out. Or I might have to recolor something entirely and then redo. I mean, it would just be... It was not that it couldn't be done. It could be done. But it would take so long. It would take a long time. Whereas with this, you know, I redraw these lines. Like I said, color up, clean up some of the coloring, and we'll be in business. There will be no big deal, and it will not take me nearly the amount of time that it would take me otherwise. I mean, it would just be a nightmare to have to redo this on traditional media. And like, you know, I've said this before, I think, but I'll just say it again. I'm not against traditional media. I actually did some painting oil painting this weekend. Came out pretty good. I was following a painter who was a Bob Ross certified instructor. A little different from following Bob Ross because, number one, it was much longer. Bob Ross's painting instructions, if you've never seen them, they're almost always less than 30 minutes. I mean, they're right around 30 minutes. This individual was doing his own live stream, and it was about an hour and a half. So there were long parts where I was like, okay, you know, let's get to the painting part because he was talking to people that were in his chat, and that's fine. I'm not saying the guy shouldn't do that, but I'm sitting here going, okay, I want to get painting here, so I had to kind of fast forward through some of it. I probably could have just turned it on to 2 times speed, and that would have probably done it. But having said all that, he had a technique for doing tree branches which was so great that it was worth the extra time. I just had never seen somebody do what he was doing, where he was using the paint knife to scrape the tree branches, and it was such a great way to do it. I mean, it really, I mean, I've always struggled with the way that Bob Ross traditionally does the branches and sticks and stuff like that. He normally uses the liner brush, this very small, thin brush. and I can never get it to work right. I mean, I've got one time of all the paintings I've done, one of them, one did I get it to look anywhere near what I liked. Once. And I've been doing those paintings for years now. So I've done quite a few of those paintings. Not as many as Bob Ross by any stretch. I'm not pretending I did. But I have not been able to get that technique down. And this guy, Bram, I don't know his last name, Bram something. This guy did a scraping thing with the knife, and it looked great, and I got it right away. I looked at it, and I'm like, that's it. That's the way to do it. And I did it, and sure enough, it looked fantastic. I mean, it really does. It looks really good. So I was really happy with how that painting came out. Really happy. And I did it on these big, I got some big canvases. They weren't exactly cheap, but they were big canvases, like a nice thick back to them. So I was really happy. And the whole entire painting was essentially just blacks and reds. No other colors. Just a touch of white. Literally the smallest amount of white paint I've probably ever used. For the water lines on the lake's edge. And I probably could have used a red, some other color to do it. But it was easiest just to do it with white because I'm used to doing it that way. And that's as much as I used of any other color. That was it. That was great. The painting came out really well. Really happy with it. It's out there drying. I generally dry them for 2 weeks. Didn't have a tremendous amount of paint on it, but either way, I do a 2-week dry on my oil paintings. Just find that way you're sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. Some people don't do it for that long. And, you know, certain conditions you don't have to do it for that long, but that's what I do. Okay, so let me see here. So we're going to do this. We're going to erase. Actually, let's go with the thinner pen for this. This. Actually, that's an interesting idea. Should I alternate these? Maybe I should. I didn't think about that, but alternating them would be interesting. Huh. Yeah, I didn't think about doing that last time. That's not the worst idea. Now that I think about it, it's kind of a neat idea to do it that way. So I guess making that mistake was actually a good idea, because it's making me rethink how I want to do this. That's interesting. Yeah, I think it might look good. We'll try it. We'll try it. See what it looks like. Man, I'll tell you what, though, from painting, my right shoulder is sore. It's sore because there was a lot of kind of big paintbrush movement in that, and my right shoulder and bicep are sore. They are. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Actually, let me fix this. Where is that color at? Is that this color? Yeah, this has to get cleaned up too. This is all off now because I redid all these, so this is all a mess. But we'll fix it. But yeah, my arm is sore from doing, because I mean there was a lot. I mean, the whole thing was coating the entire canvas in bright red, and I actually have realized that I've really come to really enjoy the paintings that have limited color to them. I've been doing better with these kind of limited color palette things, because at least for me, I focus more on the actual kind of shapes of things. And so it lets me focus more on the shapes than getting the colors right or worrying about whether, I've mixed the colors enough or anything else. With the limited color palettes, it's more about the shapes I'm trying to create. So I've kind of really started to gravitate towards these, paintings that are literally, there was a really good Bob Ross one that was just a black and white. It was just monotone. Oh man, I had so much fun with that painting. Because again, you just kind of dial into the shapes and what forms you want to make, as opposed to having to keep mixing color, and did I get the color right, and is this color going to go with this other color? All that kind of goes away if you're working with a limited color palette. You're just like, well, this is the only color there is, so whatever, this is what it's going to be. And I like that. That seems to suit me pretty well. I've been enjoying those types of paintings. There aren't a ton of them, at least that I know of. I got to look more. I got to look through. I mean, Bob Ross did so many paintings. So part of it is I just have to look through. I got to look through some of the later seasons. I tend to end up picking ones from the earlier seasons, which is fine. It's not like he suddenly got a lot better in the last season or anything like that. I mean, it's not really that. It's just I seem to have always landed in the earlier seasons, and I should look through the back catalog, the back end of it, the later stuff, and see what I think of that. As far as finding some new things, now that I have these canvases, and I had to order more liquid white because the liquid white, I think there must have been a hole in the container for it. And so it's like, well, it was almost unusable. It almost torpedoed the whole painting. I managed to mix it just enough, but I was kind of fighting it. So I got lucky because I think the painting accommodated it enough that it wasn't a problem. But the liquid white was shot. So I have some more of that coming. But yeah, that was when I realized how bad of the shape it was, and I was like, oh man, I think this, I literally thought that I was just like dead. I thought I was not going to be able to do the painting at all because luckily it didn't require much. If it had required a lot, I think I would have been in trouble. I don't think it would have turned out if it had required a lot. Where? Hold on, I missed something here. Let's go back to that one. No, this one. Okay, let me erase this. I missed that entirely. That one's okay, right? Hold on. Whoa. Wait a second. Okay. No, okay. It just looks like it's wrong, but it's not. Okay, now we're fine. Well, okay, no, we're not down there. That has to go. That has to go. And, oh, no, I was going to do alternating, wasn't I? Yeah, I was. Was I? Hold on. No, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to do this. I think my eyes are playing tricks on themselves here. I'm just going to go with this. We're going to keep this simple. Relatively simple. We're going to keep this relatively simple and stick with what my original plan was. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Okay, now let's get back to this color. Let's finish cleaning this up. And this is all in the assist, so I only have to do it on the one side, which is great. And not have to worry about then jumping over and doing the other side. And it didn't freeze, right? Nope. Okay, did not freeze, so we're still good. Just still on cleanup here. Cleanup of the color. And in a couple places, putting it back in where we lost some. Yeah, my shoulder is a little bit sore. Not bad. Not that I can't do this. I'm not in any pain or anything like that, but I notice it with certain movements. I'm like, oh, yeah, there it is. That's the shoulder. Because I'm working on a bigger canvas, obviously takes a little more effort. But well worth it. Because I really like how that painting came out. I posted it over on Kara and on Blue Sky. So if you follow me, same username, Ozone Art Foundry is where I am on everything. Every place I am, it's all the same name. So very easy that way. I've gotten fortunate that nobody else wanted that name apparently, so I've got it everywhere I want it. So got lucky there. But yeah, if you follow me on those, Kara is a really very art-centric social media service, which is okay, but I know it's small scale, so there's a lot of things missing from it. Blue Sky, I find, is a lot better. It just has more of the stuff you expect out of one of these platforms at this point. But I do like the fact that Kara is very much geared towards creators. So I don't want to come down too hard on it. They're trying. It's not easy, especially because they're a self-funded thing. So like creators of all things, it's tough making a go of it. Okay, so now let's go up here. And now we'll do this side. And on this one, we want to erase going this way. Yes. So we erase going like that. And we erase going like that. And like this. And like this. And like this. Oh, I gotta get a little A little white bleeding in there, so let's fix that real quick. Just a bit right there. Okay, back up to here. So it'll be this one, yes, okay. And, nope, wrong one. This one. That, and I gotta fix that now because I can see it. So let's go do that. Okay. And I missed a little bit right there. Yep, okay. Alright, back up here, and it's this one. Yep. Okay. That. And like this. 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 And that. Okay, so that's now done. So we can turn all our colors back on. Actually, I can go ahead and hold on, make sure you didn't miss anything before you merge these. Actually, I'll just leave them unmerged for now, but let's turn our colors back on so we can see everything the way it's supposed to be. There we are. Okay, so back up to here. Oh, I missed a little spot for the red. Weird, really? I missed that spot? That's odd, why is that missing there? Was that... Huh. It's a little strange. Oh, because it's not the red, it's some of the whites bled. There it is. I was going to say, that should not be there. That's why. Okay, so now, back to black. And back up to those lines. But I am going to change something now. I made those 4s, right? Or no, I made them 5s? Whoa, wait a minute. Why? Huh. You know what, let's make it a 6. How about a 6? No. Yeah, okay, back to 5. Why did the 5 look off to me? Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's this line. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to erase all the... Or no, we're not. We're going to... I don't want to do it. I'm going to drop the opacity down on this. New layer. Maximum. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. Well, you know what? Look, at this point, the visor's good. I'm not going to redo the visor. Let's go ahead and flatten the visor out. I'm not redoing that. I already know at this point that's done. I mean, I'll either remove it or I won't, but I'm not going to be redoing it. So now, I want these to be unified lines, so I want them to just go the whole way. See what I mean? Where I'll erase all that stuff in the middle, but I want these lines to just be consistent all the way through the face. Oops. Yeah, okay, you know what? I have to turn these other lines off. I can't see through them. So we turn these off just to keep the distractions to a minimum. There we go. Yep, there we go. I'm on the right... Whoa, stop. I'm on the right one, right? That's it, right there. All right, here we go. Just got to keep these nice and... Ugh. Okay, hold on. I should have done it this way to begin with. I don't know why I keep switching layers like that. That's annoying me a little bit because I'm not switching layers and yet it's jumping, but that's okay. It's probably some kind of shortcut that the system has that I don't... Whoa, what is that? Where's that coming from? There's a little thing missing there. Damn it. Where is that? Is that a red? That's what it is. There we are. Okay. All right. So. Okay. Back up here. All right. Is this... Oh. Well, I didn't have the assist on anyway, so those lines were completely invalid. So let's turn the assist on. Okay. All right, I'm on the right layer. Yes. Let's switch to here. And let's go. Okay. Just going to take this nice and slow here. Actually, let me get a drink of water. I realize it's been 40 minutes, so get a drink of water here. There we go. Okay. And actually, hold on. I want to just check one quick thing. Background music's working. I can't hear it, so I never know. I'm never quite positive the background music is working. But there's a little meter that tells me that it is. So I just want to double check that. Not that I think, it's a big deal. If it didn't work one stream, it would probably be fine. But, just checking. I think at this point, I probably don't need this anymore. So we'll just keep going here. Man, now my arm is sore a little bit. There we go. It's fine. I'll make it. Not a big deal. But yeah, it is kind of funny. You don't really think about that, but when you do some of these larger paintings, you are working out your arm. You don't really notice it necessarily because, you're painting and you're having a good time. Actually, there's one. Where are those other lines? Okay, I do want that line there. So you don't really necessarily pay attention to it, but you are working out, your muscles. In particular, whatever your dominant painting arm is. Especially with when you're coating a canvas, it's depending on how firm the paint is and how you're trying to coat it. You have to do a bunch of. Essentially, it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't call it. It's a type of exercise. I'm not saying that you're going to bulk up off it or anything like that. You're not going to become Mr. or Mrs. Universe off of painting, but you will definitely feel it in your arms for a couple days, depending on what you do. And so yeah, it's a good thing. Cause it's kind of funny, because the next day, I painted on Saturday, and so then on Sunday, I remember I woke up and I went to do something. I'm like, why is my arm hurt? And I thought something was wrong. And I'm like, oh yeah, I painted yesterday, and used a lot of the heavy 2-inch brush, and did a lot of blending. And blending in particular, the way that you move the way I do it anyway, is a lot of kind of circular movement with your arm. Because I have the canvas at about, I don't know, it's at the middle point of the canvas. This was 18 by 24 canvas turned on its side. And I had it at, the middle was at about eye level. I'm about 6'2", right around there. So, for a lot of it, I've got my arm out at eye level or higher, doing these circles, and then kind of brushing color across for blending, and then circles for the clouds. So when you do that a lot, it's just like anything. It's repetitive motion. And as my body is continuing to tell me, I'm not 18 anymore, and so I am noticing that when I do stuff like that, it now lasts a little bit longer, and it's sore for longer. Part of the aging process is just what happens is something that 20 years ago I probably would not even have noticed. Now takes 2 or 3 days to go away. So it's not really that it hurts. It's kind of like a dull soreness now. Sunday it was pretty sore. I remember that. It was pretty sore. So like I said, it's one of those things. That's one of the indicators of age, besides, the fact that for some people your hair turns white or you get lines in your face. But that can all be variable. Not everybody gets them at the same time the same way, but depending on what you're doing and what shape you're in, you'll start to notice that certain things that you would never even have noticed, are making you tired or achy or whatever. It's not that they didn't before. It's more that it takes longer for it to go away. Sorry. I don't know how drinking water did something to my throat, but it did. I'm going to mute my mic for a minute, and I'm going to clear my throat because I don't want to sound like a frog. There we go. Much better. But yes, that's one thing that you just notice is things just take a little longer. I had a cut on my finger. And like I said, when I was younger, that cut would have been gone within 3 or 4 days. It took like a week. Not really complaining necessarily, just things that you start to observe and you're like, oh yeah, okay. Things don't bounce back as fast as they did. The same thing with trying to stay up late. It used to be not even a thought to stay up real late. 2, 3, 4 a.m. Now, I could do it, but I'd have to put an effort into it. It's so easy to fall asleep, which I'm not complaining because I know people who have insomnia. So I'm never going to complain about the fact that it's easy for me to fall asleep. I've never suffered from insomnia. I can't even imagine that. But I know people who have, and it sounds terrible. I mean, it sounds terrible. So I'm not going to complain. If the difference is I fall asleep easily as opposed to not being able to fall asleep, I'll take falling asleep easily. Thank you. I will gladly take that over not being able to fall asleep because that just sounds like it can drive you crazy. All right, there we are. So let's get our... Actually, we'll just stick with this ink brush. It's perfectly fine. This will do the job. I want to get the paintbrush. The paintbrush is so large, it's going to be easy for me to go too far in and obliterate lines that I want to keep. So... Oh, that's because those lines are turned off. I'm like, why are those dots just there? Because the lines that go around them are the circles, I should say, are currently missing. They're turned off. Their visibility is set to 0. So that's why. That's why they're not there. All right. Yeah, I think I like these lines a lot better. I think this will work out. And now I can switch to the paintbrush. How large is it? Oh, that's not bad. That's okay. That's manageable in here. There we are. So let's clear that. Yeah, I think those lines are going to look better. Let's turn the lines back on. See where we are. Yeah. Yep, I like that. I think that's going to help solve the problem for me, is having these other lines in there. I think that's going to be the ticket. So let's go here. That's these lines. I think those are 4s. Let's check. Yep, those are 4s. So let's go ahead and do these. We'll go from this side and make sure I'm on the right layer. Yes, I am on the right layer. Okay, let's do this. Just follow along here. And do that. Okay. Nope, not enough space on that one. There we are. Very nice, very nice. I've been watching the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon. It's great if you haven't seen it and you like Spider-Man. It's very good. I really like the art style of it. It's got kind of a neat lightweight tone to it, which I enjoy. Nice to see Marvel doing animation that's good again. For a while, it felt like they had just kind of given up. And it was basically DC was doing all the good animation stuff, and now it feels like Marvel is, like with X-Men 97 and things like that, I feel like they're getting back into animation, which I like. Because for a while, they were doing really good stuff, and then, like I said, it was like they kind of gave up. And I think it's, I know they're doing all their Disney Plus streaming stuff, but that tends to be, like so many streaming series, those tend to be season-long storylines, and they just are. Sometimes it's like, okay, can I just have something that's short and just done? It's nice sometimes to have that. Not everything needs to be an hour long and part of a big storyline that's gonna take a season to tell. I'm okay with small stories that don't have to have any lasting impact too. Spider-Man's a good platform for that, where you can just tell one-off stories, and that's all right. You know what? Yeah, I just realized something with this. Yeah, I should have started down here. I want these to have more curve to them. So I want to follow this line. I almost started down here too, and I should have followed my initial instinct. Your initial instinct is usually the right one. In this case, that instinct would have been the one to follow. Go along with this. So yeah, I like the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon. It's good. Like I said, you don't have to really know anything. It doesn't demand a lot. It's just fun. Animation style I like. Has a bit of a vintage feel, but still is obviously a modern thing. That other First line doesn't look right. I wonder if I could just... Oh, whoa, that's the paint. That was the paintbrush. Let me see if I can just redo this line without having to redo them all. I bet you I can. I think I can fix that. Let's try it, shall we? We'll give it a shot. See if we can get this to be where I want it to be. I think I can. Just gotta do it slowly and carefully. Which I would say, if you haven't seen it, and like I said, if you like Spider-Man, if you don't bother. But if you like Spider-Man, and you want something that's, like I said, a little bit less of a commitment compared to some of the bigger, longer series, typically the live action stuff, I think it works very well. I like that longer stuff too. I just feel like everything is like that now. There's so much of that requires, you to know all this stuff and to be following every single week, and you can't miss an episode. And I'm okay with that, but I think to go along with that, there should also be shows where you can miss an episode. There was a lot of that when I was younger, where, if you missed a week or two of a show, it didn't really mean anything. You knew where everybody was. You knew what was going on. It didn't require all this. Like I said, I'm not against that type of storytelling. I think there's been some really good stuff like that. But it just feels like that's the default position now for every show. Every show has a bunch of backstory and lore that you have to know, or you're going to get lost. And I don't know that that's great for everything. I don't think everything has to fit into that particular box. I think there can be a little bit of, these lines that line looks very, very angled to me. I'm going to curve that out a little bit more. Try to anyway. There we go. Yeah. Better. So yeah, that's a good show. Oh, is there anything else newer I've been watching lately? I don't think so. Not anything new. I'm having a little trouble getting this to angle the way I want it to down here. So what I'm going to start doing is just coming down here and doing it separately so that I can get a nice curve to it. There we go. Now, my wife and I have been watching older stuff. And I've been rewatching the 2020 series Devs, because we're going to be doing a series on that, discussion series on that, starting tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So I'll be recording episode 1 of that tomorrow. It'll be 4 episodes. Each of the episodes will focus on 2 episodes of the show. Really, really great show that aired in 2020. Haven't watched it since then, but I remember really, really being impressed with it. And I have been rewatching it, and I've been impressed with it again. It's just a beautifully made show. I gotta get this curve right. There's no point. There we go. There we go. Well, okay, I got the back end right, but this part's not. This part's bad. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. Sweep that up and into there. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Sweep that out. And a little bit too tight on that curve. There we are. And we might just see the edge of that. Yeah, that's better. I'm glad I went for that angle instead. Yeah. Okay, let's turn that background off. Turn that pea green or pea soup green thing off. Yeah. The only thing I'm wondering is if maybe these cables should be red and not teal. I don't know. I have to think about that. Should they be red? Well, let's see. Hold on. Where's the reds? Okay, let's just see. Let's just have a quick look at it and see what it looks like. If I make these red... Ooh, I want it to be... No, I think I just stick with red. Let's just stick with red. We can just see what this is going to look like as a kind of test. Would that look better than the teal color? I don't know. I'm not convinced yet, but let's just take a look at it from... I'll just do enough that I can kind of get a look at it without having to... I'm not going to do it all yet. because I'm not convinced this is a good idea. But I'm just going to see. Again, the nice part about digital. I can do this, and it's not really permanent. Let's see. Boy, I think that might look better. I think that might look better. I think it might look more like it's imitating the actual, you know, veins and everything of the neck. I think the red color might be better. Maybe. So let's go. I mean, I can always just erase it again if I don't like it. It won't be a big deal. It's not going to take me that long to do. But I am curious now. Oh, I didn't even see that. Hold on. Let's fix that, shall we? Where is that? There it is. Let's get that fixed real quick. Oops. Whoop. Done. Completely missed that somehow. Back to you. Okay, let's get back to this. And that. And a little of this. Well, this is going to be perfect. Coming right up on the hour. And that's exactly where I want it to be. So this will be a good place, once these are done, a good place to take a break. And what I'll probably do is obviously I will. I was going to say, this is a good place too to take a break and see if I actually like these reds. I'm not 100% on this. I think it might look good, but I think this is one of the reasons I talk about, you know, liking to do an hour. Is, as I've said a bunch of times on these streams, it's really good to step away from whatever you're working on and not look at it for a while. And I think this is a good. Wow, boy, how did I miss all this stuff? I don't know, but I sure did. I missed it all right. I really did. Look at that. You can see the edges right there. Completely. Maybe I wasn't zoomed in enough to see it. Guess not, because it's kind of incredible. I missed it. But yeah, this is why stepping away, not looking at something for a while, it's a good idea. Just get a little space from it, and then you can come back and decide whether something... Sometimes just to see if something's missing. Not even if you don't like something you did. It could be as simple as, you know, like me realizing I had to put those detail lines in. Because I knew something was missing, but I couldn't really work out what. And then just not looking at it for a little bit and then coming back to it solved the problem for me. Jeez, look, I missed that too. Wow, yeah, look at all these little edges that I missed. Huh. Wow. Really easy to miss this stuff when you're not zoomed in. Not that you would see it zoomed out, so it really wouldn't make that big a deal, but still. But yes, that is the value of stepping away and not looking at something for a while, because you really do come back to it with fresh eyes. You know, you're not locked into the same thought process. You're completely different day, completely different things happening. And for whatever reason, that a series of events may have gone on during a day that gets you to look at something just slightly differently than you did before. And that's a good thing. It is nice to do like a perspective refresh, I guess, is the best way to put it. Where you're not locked into what you were doing and the thought process that you had. Because something else too, something can work really well in one area, and then the temptation can be, and I've certainly done this, oh, well, if it worked good there, I'm going to do it everywhere. I'm going to do the same thing everywhere because it worked really well here. And maybe it works good in other places. Maybe it is the right solution, but maybe it isn't. But since it worked in the one spot, you're kind of already doing it, you kind of start to default to it because you're like, well, I did it over here. It worked well for that. That looked good when I did it there. Kind of like for a while I was going crazy with that tapered pen. And don't get me wrong, it worked really well for some things, but there was one of these streams I was doing something with, I started doing it with the tapered pen, and I realized really quickly, I'm like, no, this is not the right pen for this. I do not want to do that. Okay, I missed a thing there. Let me get that little area right there. This needs to get no, not that one. Where's that one? There we go. So that's what I mean. is because I used a tapered pen in one place and I was like, oh, it looks good. Immediately, I was kind of trying to use it everywhere, and you know what? It's not always the right fit. Doesn't always work. Something can be the perfect solution for one illustration and then be the absolute worst option. Oh, wow, that's just missing the purple. Huh. Okay, let's get that filled in. There we go. The absolute worst solution somewhere else. But when you're in the middle of using it and you think it works somewhere, it's just so easy to say, oh, well, it's going to work for everything. Very, very normal. You know, it's like finding a new technique. Like, literally, I'd never used that taper brush before the mushroom image I did a long time ago. And I really love that image. It just came out so well. You know? And that's why taking a bit of a break and stepping away and coming back is good, because it lets you evaluate things from a neutral perspective. The same way that, like, right now, because I'm doing so much of these reds and purples, to try to do another color at this point would be really tough because my eyes are so geared towards these colors. Like, when I'm looking away from the iPad for a minute, everything in the room around me, the color is all off because this is so bright and I'm staring at it. And it's that kind of thing. You've had this, where you look at something that's a certain color. It's like a bright color or a strong color, and then it makes everything look off. You know, it's like if you put your face towards the sun, you close your eyes, but you face the sun. And you keep your eyelids closed for a while. When you open your eyes and look at, like, the grass, the color's all off for a little bit, and then your eyes adjust. Same thing. That's pretty much true of everything. So, like, everything, like right now, these reds look good to me. I could come back and look at this in 2 hours and think, oh no, I want to go back to the teal. You know, that has happened before. I've come back to things. I think I've done some of the on some of the streams where I've come back and be like, oh wow, what was I thinking there? No, that is not the right answer for that. And that's why, you know, I try not to work on any one thing for too long, because I don't want to put 2 hours worth of work into something and then realize that I shouldn't have ever done it to begin with. And I've come close. I've come close a few times to doing exactly that. It's one of the reasons I do make a point of taking these breaks and saying, oh, I'm going to come back and look at this a different way. So let's just get all this done. And I think we'll be in a good place to end the stream for this evening. So we're probably over an hour now. I haven't looked at the timer in a little bit, but I'm going to guess we're over the hour mark at this point. Oh yeah, hour 3. Not bad. Not bad. That's what an hour is just about the perfect amount of time for me. It really is. And we're at a good place to stop anyway, because like I said, I want to reevaluate this after I haven't looked at it in a while. See what I think about these reds. Right now, I think they're the right way to go. We'll see whether that holds up. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to stop here for this particular session. Okay, let's bring up that Be Right Back screen. There we go. And as I always do, I will encourage you to go find a creator, not me, but find a creator that you enjoy and help that person out. There's a lot of creators out there, and a lot of them are not doing great, or not, I shouldn't say not doing great, but it's become tough. It was always tough. It's become tougher, it feels like, for a lot of creators lately, especially with all this AI business that everybody's all hyped about, and lots of other things going on. So there are people out there who could absolutely use your support. And just like I always say, it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to mean you have to give people money. I'm not talking about myself. Find somebody else. I'm fine. But it doesn't have to be money. It can be just reposting their work, leaving them a nice comment, directing other people to find them, that kind of thing. It doesn't always have to be money. People jump straight to that. And that's nice. Don't get me wrong. Most of these creators are not going to turn down money. They'll be happy to have it, but that's not all it is, because not everybody has the money to do that. So it doesn't just have to be that. Support can take many forms. So find a creator that you enjoy, support them in whatever way makes sense for you. And on that note, thanks for being here and hanging out for a while. And until the next stream, hope you all have a wonderful week. And until next time, thanks for being here.